So what do you do with your eggshells? Probably toss them, right? Or maybe you crush them up and throw them in the garden thinking you're doing your plants a favor. Well, what if I told you that's actually a huge mistake? Today, we're going to unlock a powerful technique that turns this common kitchen waste into, well, liquid gold for your farm. Let's dive in. Okay, let me paint a picture for you. You've spent months, literally months, tending to your tomato plants. They're looking amazing. And then you see it, that awful, dark, mushy spot on the bottom of the fruit. Yep, classic blossom end rot. It's just so frustrating, isn't it? Or maybe this is you. Your chili plants are covered in beautiful little flowers, and you're thinking, wow, what a harvest this is going to be. But then they just drop off. One by one, the plant looks perfectly healthy, but it just won't set fruit. And you're left scratching your head. And hey, for you melon and cucumber growers out there, maybe you're seeing fruit that's all misshapen or it's cracking open before it's even ripe. Well, all of these problems, the tomatoes, the chilies, the melons, they almost always point back to the very same hidden culprit. You know, we've all heard the advice, oh, your plants need calcium, just crush up some eggshells. So you do it. You've been doing it for years. But the problems, they keep coming back. Does that sound familiar? It's because that common wisdom just doesn't work fast enough. The real question is, why not? So let's really get into this common mistake. See, the problem isn't that eggshells don't have calcium. They're absolutely packed with it. The problem is how that calcium is, well, locked away. I want you to think of a raw eggshell like a tiny rock-solid safe. It's filled with treasure, over 95% calcium carbonate, but it's sealed tight in this hard, crystalline structure. It even has a protein armor coating it. Now, your plants, they can't chew. They can only drink their food. They need that calcium already dissolved in water. They simply don't have the key to open that safe. And look, if you're still not convinced, get this. A study found that after 3 years, 3 entire years in garden soil, those eggshells were still almost perfectly intact. That says it all, right? For your annual crops, adding raw eggshells is basically like adding gravel. They just don't break down nearly fast enough to do any good. So, if the plants can't open the safe, we need to find the key. And luckily for us, that key comes from the brilliant world of Korean natural farming. So, we're done with the problem, now let's talk about the solution. And the solution is called water-soluble calcium, or you'll hear me call it WCA. It is an absolutely amazing liquid fertilizer that you can make right in your own home. All it takes is a simple reaction with vinegar to completely unlock all that calcium, making it 100% available for your plants to just drink right up, instantly. The science here is actually pretty simple. The acetic acid in the vinegar basically attacks the solid calcium carbonate in the shells. And this chemical reaction just breaks it all down, releasing the calcium and turning it into something called calcium acetate, which, you guessed it, dissolves perfectly in water. We're essentially pre-digesting the eggshells for our plants. Okay, that's enough of the theory. Let's get our hands dirty. Here is your step-by-step guide to making your own super-powered calcium fertilizer. Now, I really need you to pay close attention here. A lot of people have tried this and failed. Their mixture just rots and smells awful. And that's because they miss one single, absolutely critical step that I'm about to show you. This is where 90% of people go wrong, so let's make sure you're in the 10% that get it right. All right, here we go, 4 simple steps. Step 1 is to prepare. Wash your eggshells and, this is really important, peel out that thin little membrane on the inside. That's the stuff that rots and makes it stink. Step 2, and this is the secret, roast them. Just spread them on a tray, pop them in an oven at around 200 degrees Celsius till they're a light golden brown. This burns off any gunk and makes them super brittle. Step 3, soak. Put your roasted shells in a glass jar and pour in some plain old white vinegar. A good ratio to remember is about 1 part shells to 10 parts vinegar. You'll see it start fizzing right away. And finally, step 4, ferment. Cover the jar with a cloth, don't seal it, and just let it sit in a dark corner for about a week to 10 days until all that bubbling has stopped. And I'm going to say this as clearly as I can because it is so important. This is a critical safety warning. Do not seal the lid. I'm serious. That bubbling you see is carbon dioxide gas. If you trap that gas in a sealed jar, the pressure will build, and that jar can literally explode. So please, just cover it with a piece of cloth and a rubber band. The gas gets out and no dust gets in. Okay, so once the bubbling is all done, congratulations. You've made your own WCA. You can strain out the shell bits and store the liquid. But now, how do we actually use this stuff? Now, listen carefully. You must dilute it. This concentrate is incredibly powerful. The standard ratio you need to remember is 1 to 1,000. That means just 1 tiny milliliter of your WCA mixed into a full liter of water. Any stronger than that, and you really risk burning the leaves of your plants.
You see, with WCA, timing is absolutely key. For your tomatoes, you want to spray when you see those first flowers, and then again about a week after the tiny fruits appear. That's how you prevent blossom end rot. For chilies, start spraying weekly as soon as they flower to stop that dreaded flower drop. For melons and cucumbers, start right when the fruits begin to form. It'll help prevent cracking. Heck, this even works great on fruit trees like durian or citrus to improve skin quality. And you want to spray it right on the leaves, as a foliar feed, always in the cool of the early morning or evening.
All right, just to make sure you have total success right out of the gate, let's quickly go over the most common mistakes people make when they start using their homemade WCA. First, don't mix it too strong. Stick to that 1 to 1,000 ratio, always. Second, never spray in the hot midday sun. You'll just shock the plant. Do it early in the morning or late in the evening. Third, be patient. Don't use your WCA until the bubbling has totally stopped or the reaction's not finished. Fourth, please remember, this is a calcium supplement. It's not a complete fertilizer. Your plants still need their NPK. And finally, WCA is not a magic fix for bad watering. Inconsistent water is a huge cause of blossom end rot, so you still have to manage your entire system.
So, what's the big takeaway here? With this simple method, you can turn a waste product into an incredibly valuable asset. You're giving your plants the exact nutrient they need right when they need it most. Now, it's not a magic cure-all, but when you combine it with good soil practices and smart watering, it is an absolute game changer. So the next time you crack an egg, don't see it as trash. See it as the raw material for your farm's hidden gold.